purple light. Hey everyone, hope you're having a really great Friday. If you are waking up and joining me, good job. You want to get your morning movement out of the way because it is going to be a hot day, it seems like, for all of us here on the West Coast. So go ahead and we're going to start seated actually. We're going to go through a very gentle class today just to open up the spine and the body and just to kind of ground into the day. So we'll start seated and you can come into whatever comfortable seated position for you. If you have a block or a pillow that you want to put underneath the sit bones just to lift the sit bones, that sometimes feels better for the hips, just to rotate the hips down. And then we'll close the eyes. I want you to feel how you are, notice how you are feeling today. So when you close the eyes, soften the muscles in the face and feel the connection of your sit bones to whatever surface you're sitting on. Relax through the thighs and then engage the core so you lift up through the chest. Pull the shoulder blades together behind the back. And then the back of the neck is nice and long so the crown of the head can point towards the ceiling. And if you haven't done so already, close the eyes. Feel the eyeballs themselves kind of softening into the skull. Relax the jaw, seal the lips. Bring all of your awareness to your breath in and out of the nose. So as you scan the body here, notice any areas of tightness that you might be clinging on to. Notice any areas that feel maybe extremely open. And as you take 2 more breaths, see if you can start to quiet the mind and breathe into the space that you're in this present moment. And keep the eyes closed. Bring the hands together in front of the heart and feel the thumbs connect to the sternum, that space right in front of the heart. Now, as you press the thumbs into the heart, continue to lift the crown of the head up to the ceiling. And you're going to take this breath and bring all of your awareness to the center of your heart and find your intention for the day. How are you going to stay mindful throughout this entire day? Take a couple of breaths, feeling your intention, thinking about how your day will be. Before you blink the eyes open, put a smile on your face to seal your intention within. And then we'll blink the eyes open, release the hands to the knees, take a big deep breath in into the body, and a full breath out. And you're going to switch the crossing of the legs, reground the booty back into whatever surface that you're sitting on. Keep the core engaged. Inhale to lift up into the spine. As you exhale, twist over to the right knee. And you'll bring the left hand on top of the right knee, and the right hand is going to come behind the body to lift the heart up. As you take a big inhale, fill the body, and then twist towards the right shoulder. Soften through the left shoulder, and then pause here for an entire breath. See if you can settle into the pose. Let go if you are holding on to tension. And then take one more breath here to relax. Use your next inhale to come back to center. Pause here for your exhale and just notice the difference of the sides of the body. Take another inhale to lift into the spine. As you exhale, twist now to the left knee. Right hand comes on top of the left knee. Left hand comes behind the body to lift the heart. As you exhale, the gaze is going to go over the back shoulder. Soften through the right shoulder. Continue to lift up through the center of the chest And you can use the exhale to twist a little bit deeper, gazing over the back shoulder even more. Once you find that sweet spot, pause here. See if you can settle here. Maybe close the eyes and relax. Take one more full breath here. Then you'll use your inhale to unwind, come back to center, pause here for your exhale. Take another big breath in and a full breath out. You're going to extend the legs out, have a little bit of a wide stance or seat, I should say. Not as wide as a mat, but maybe just a little bit wider than hip width distance. And then we're going to start by bringing the right foot to the inner left thigh. Press the foot into the thigh, but then I want you to feel the right knee soften. Feel the right hip relax. Keep the left foot flexed and you'll rotate the inner left thigh down to the earth, and that's going to help point the toes more to the ceiling. Inhale to find length through the spine, up nice and tall. As you exhale, think about leading with your chin down to your toes. Reach the sternum down the thighs. Sometimes it helps also if you bring the left hand to the inside of the left foot. That's going to help you use a little bit of leverage. You can also wrap the hands around the foot, but wherever you are, I want you to tuck the chin, keep the back of the neck long, and think about reaching the sternum towards the toes. Relax the shoulders. And then again, once you find that spot, you can settle in, take a few breaths here, and let the body relax into the pose. So a lot of times we rush from pose to pose. We don't give our bodies enough time to settle and relax. We need that time to open up and give the body time to gently respond to the pose. So take another full breath here, maybe reaching the sternum closer to the toes. Think about relaxing the shoulders. Don't hold your breath. You can pull the navel to the spine too, and that sometimes helps. And then you'll walk the hands back up that left knee. Extend the right foot back out. Pause here. Just notice, keep the right foot flexed. Rotate the inner right thigh down to the earth to help point the toes up. Inhale to find length, getting taller out of the spine. As you exhale, you'll hinge forward. Don't think about just bringing the chin towards the knee. Think about reaching and lengthening the spine down the thigh towards the toes. Once you get there, relax the shoulders down the back and you can slightly tuck the chin. And then again, if you want to use that leverage of wrapping the hand around the foot or the ankle, you can go ahead and do so. But continue to reach the heart towards the toes. Soften through the left knee. Continue to take a few more breaths here to relax. Maybe notice what feels different on this leg compared to the opposite leg. Do you notice it in the low back, in the hamstrings, or the hips? Another cycle of breath to reach the heart, relax deeper into the pose. And then you'll inhale to walk the hands back to center. Bring now the right foot to meet the left foot. You're going to come into a butterfly pose. So if the hamstrings are still pretty tight, have the feet a little bit further away from the pelvis, or if the hamstrings feel okay, then you can bring them in closer. Hold your feet like you're reading a book, and then you'll inhale to lift up and out of the heart. Soften the shoulders down the back. And then there's two different ways that you can do this pose. You can bend the elbows and press the elbows into the thighs with a flat back and think about bringing your sternum towards your toes. Or the other way, same thing with the elbows, press the elbows into the thighs, but you'll round the back Think about bringing your forehead down towards the toes, kind of hollowing out your chest. Think about and feel what your body needs and do what's best right now for your body. Once you find where you need to be, take a couple of breaths here. Close the eyes. Feel the body settling. And just notice any thoughts or feelings that are coming up to the surface. Is it hard for you to stay focused? Are you able to stay present in the pose? Take one more full breath. And then you'll rise up, stack the spine, bring the knees in with the hands and the feet onto the floor. Cross over the ankles, come into table pose. Oops, watch out, Bruno. So when you come into table pose, think about the wrists being right underneath the shoulders and the knees being right underneath the hips. Spread the fingers nice and wide, but as you root the palms into the mat or the floor, rotate all of the weight in between the pointer finger and thumb. Now the ears are going to stay in line with the shoulders, so tuck the chin slightly, lift through the back of the head. Reach the head forward. At the same time, you're engaging the core and pressing the tailbone back. Pause here. Notice how the body feels. What do you feel in the hands? What do you feel in the shoulders? And then connect to the low back, the hips, the knees, and the tops of the shins and feet. Take one more cycle here. And then two options for our next pose. First option, we're coming into a shoulder stretch. So you can come back onto the knees, pull the arm across the body. The other option, if you want to go a little bit further, is coming back into that table pose. Ground into the left palm. On your inhale, sweep the right hand up to the ceiling. Extend the fingertips up. As you exhale, you'll thread underneath the chin, underneath the left armpit, and come onto the right side of the face. Keep the hips over the knees, and then the left hand can be in front of the face, or you can extend it and rotate it toward the back of the hand, rest on the low back, opening up through the left shoulder. And then wherever you choose to be, close the eyes, take a handful of breaths to settle into the pose. When you come into stillness, this is where you typically can feel the body holding or clinging on to tension. So use the breath here to open up that tightness, quiet the mind, stay present here for a couple more breaths. And then if you are hinged forward, left hand comes in front of the face, press into the palm, extend the right hand back up to open up through the shoulder, and then you'll release the right hand down. If you are still on your shins, you can go ahead and bring the other arm across the body. Left arm comes across the body now. If you want to go onto the opposite side, come back into table pose, ground the palms back into the floor, reach the heart forward, make sure that the core is still engaged by pulling the navel to the spine. Use the inhale to sweep the left hand up to the ceiling. As you exhale, you're threading underneath the chin, underneath the right armpit. Come onto the right side of the face, or the left side, excuse me, of the face. Keep the right hand in front of the face, or you can rotate toward the back of the hand, rest on the sacrum. And then again, think about the hips staying over the knees. Pause here, reconnect with your breath. And then once you find your breath again, take a few breaths to relax into this pose. Notice what tension you're holding on to on this side of the body compared to the other. Connect back with your breath. Take 2 more deep cycles here to relax on this side of the pose. Right hand comes back in front of the face. Press into the palm. Extend the left hand back up. And then exhale to bring the hand down. And then we'll all come onto our shins. Tuck the toes now. All 10 toes are tucked. And then we'll pause here. Close the eyes. Hands rest palms down onto the thighs. Feel the ears and line over the shoulders and the shoulders over the hips. 2 breaths. And then come back into table pose. One hand at a time, ground the palms into the mat. Step the feet back to the back of the mat, coming into a plank pose. Reach the heels back. Navel comes towards the spine. We're pausing here. Get really strong through the chest. Spread the shoulder blades slightly, just like maybe in cat pose. Navel comes to the spine to protect the low back. Take 1 more breath here. And then very gently, you're going to come all the way down. Bring the hips down to the floor. Bring the elbows underneath the shoulders for Sphinx pose. So as you press the elbows into the mat, spread the fingers nice and wide and root the palms down into the floor. Tops of the feet are pressing into the mat. Toes are pointing for the back of the room. And then the chin is slightly tucked here. Reach the heart towards the chin. Press the pubic bone down into the floor. And the tops of the feet, as they're pressing down into the floor, they're engaging the legs so that the shins are lifted off of the floor. Pause here. Take a couple of breaths into the pose. Take 1 more cycle to settle. And then as you exhale, come all the way down. Stack the palms flat. Rest the third eye on the center of the palms. So when you do that, I want you to feel the hips softening down into the floor. Let go of any tension on the front side of the body as you lay down. Take 1 more big, deep breath here. And then you'll rise back up, press into the palms, tuck the toes, come back into your plank pose or push-up position. 1 more breath to find that strength in the front of the body. And then look forward, very gently begin to walk the feet towards the hands, come into a forward fold. Have the feet hip-width distance apart, grab onto opposite elbows, roll the weight into the toes. And you'll let go in the neck and the head here. Maybe give the head a few shakes, no, and a few shakes, yes. And as you let the arms bring the torso closer towards the toes, feel the length in the spine that you're creating. Even sway from side to side, but keep the feet planted firmly into the floor. Take 1 more breath wherever you want to be. And then you'll release the fingers towards the floor. As you inhale, come up halfway, bring the hands to the shins, reach the heart forward, shoulders move away from the ears for a flat back. Exhale to fold back forward over the thighs, very gentle. 1 more time, inhale with a flat back, hands come to the shins, reach the heart forward. Exhale to forward fold. Put a bend in the knees, bring the arms out to a T, inhale to rise all the way up. Feel the palms touch overhead. Exhale to bring the hands down to the heart. Close your eyes. Feel the feet rooting into the floor. Lift through the center of the heart. Crown of the head lengthens towards the ceiling. Soften all of the muscles in the face. Just take a full breath here to be present in this moment. Blink the eyes open. Bring the hands to the hips. Bring all of the weight into the right foot. And then I want you to start with a little kickstand. Have the big toe still touching the earth, and then the heel resting on the calf. And then think about the left knee pointing towards the left corner of your mat. So if you're on a mat, have it pointing towards that corner. And then now you can engage the right foot, press the right foot into the floor so that the right leg is firm. Bring now the left foot to the inner calf of the right thigh or of the right leg, or bring it up above the knee joint to the inner right thigh. You're still pointing the knee towards the left corner of the mat. So find your balance, root the right foot into the floor, and then as you press the foot into the thigh, the same thing, the thigh is pressing into the foot. Hands can be at the hips, at the heart. Once you find your balance, maybe you extend them up to the ceiling. Once you find your tree pose, find a drishti or a gazing point that you can focus on, something that's not moving. And then you'll take a couple of breaths in your tree pose. Put a smile on your face. Take one more cycle of breath. And then hands come to the heart. Left foot comes down to the floor. Ground into both feet. Close the eyes. Notice the difference in the legs. Lift through the center of the heart. Take one more full breath. Keep the eyes closed. Bring the weight into the left foot first before you open the eyes. Ground into the left leg. And then blink the eyes open. Find your drishti. Bring the right heel to the inner left calf. Find your kickstand. Point the right knee to the right corner of the mat. And once you find that balance, you can start to bring either the foot below the knee onto the calf or above the knee onto the thigh. Right knee is still pointing to the right corner of the mat. Root the left foot into the floor, firming the left leg. Engage the core to lift through the heart. Find your drishti. And then when you're ready, maybe you extend the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Soften the shoulders. Relax the muscles in the face. Notice if you started to bring tension into the jaw. Take one more full breath here to settle. And then hands come down to the heart. Right foot comes down to the floor. Close the eyes. Notice now the difference or the balance in the body. Are you starting to open up through the body? Are you starting to be a little bit more present in the moment? Take another full cycle of breath here. Blink the eyes open. Inhale to sweep the arms out and up. Palms touch overhead. Exhale to lead with the heart. Dive over the thighs, nice and gentle into a forward fold. Inhale, bring the hands to the shins, flat back, reach the heart forward, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale to forward fold, bend the knees, plant the palms, step into plank pose. So as you find your push-up position, again, feel the shoulders over the wrists, spread the fingers nice and wide, and then rotate the weight in between the pointer finger and thumb. Navel pulls to the spine to keep. And then you'll use your exhale to bring the knees down to the floor. Reach the heart forward. Shoulders are over the wrists. Tailbone reaches back. Take another big, deep breath here. And a full breath out. And then I want you to stay here in table pose. Bring the right knee to the right wrist. Set up for pigeon here. Extend the left leg to the back of the mat. So if this is too much for the hips, you can always rotate onto the back and come into a figure 4 where you put the right ankle on top of the left knee. But if pigeon works for you, then go ahead and find your pigeon pose. Look back and make sure that the left leg is coming out of the body straight. And then you can choose to stay here, or you can inhale to find length out of the spine. Exhale to come forward. Maybe you use a block to hold on to or to place the forehead. And then when you find that spot to settle in, take a couple of breaths to relax. Feel the hips softening. Maybe you feel the right thigh starting to open up even more. Take another cycle of breath, relaxing the muscles in the face. Soften the shoulders down the back towards the sit bones. And then you'll bring the hands now underneath the shoulders. Tuck the left toes to firm the left leg. Press back into your table pose. You can wag the hips from side to side if that feels okay. And then again, keep the right knee where it is. Bring the left knee towards the left wrist. Extend the right foot back. Make sure that the right leg is coming out of the body straight. Keep a flex in that left foot. Inhale to find length out of the spine. And then as you exhale, you can hinge forward. Find that spot that feels comfortable to you. Release through the hips. Reach the heart forward. And take another few breaths here. And sometimes the hips can open up and release tension and built up emotions that we've held here. So soften into the pose. Use your breath to open up any tightness that you might be feeling. And then continue to focus on your breath and your intention. Take one more cycle to settle. And then you'll bring the hands underneath the shoulders once again. Tuck the right toes under to firm the right leg. Press back into your table pose. Wag the hips from side to side. And then you're going to come back onto the sit bones as you started, finding your easy, comfortable pose. Maybe the legs are crossed. Reach the heart up towards the ceiling. Crown of the head lengthens. And then you'll bring the hands together in front of the heart. We'll pause here for a few breaths, noticing any subtle shifts that you have created internally. Notice where your awareness is now compared to when you started your practice. And then maybe tune into how the body feels now. Take one more cycle of breath. And before you blink the eyes open, take another full breath into your intention. And put a smile on your face to seal your intention within. Blink the eyes open. Namaste. I hope you guys get out there and enjoy the day. Make sure that you stay hydrated and that you take care of yourselves. But enjoy the day while you have it, and enjoy the weather. And thanks so much for getting up and moving with me this morning. Hope you guys all have a really great day and a great weekend. Don't forget to join me Sunday morning for the last of my Mindful Morning series. It's only a half hour, get us moving. So again, at 9 a.m. on Sunday. See you guys later.